it's actually on the same issue of immigration, but this is touching on children. And the countless children, students who are in our elementary schools, junior high schools, and high schools who are undocumented and want to be able to fulfill the American dream of, New York State, we're lucky that they can pay in-state tuition if they're undocumented, but they are not qualified for federal financial aid. And then once they graduate from college, there is no clear path for citizenship for them, nor can they get a Social Security card and actually practice what it is that they want to do, whether it's be a doctor or be a lawyer. So my question to you is, again, there are many undocumented children in the schools in this district, many with dreams of receiving a post-secondary school education. How will your office work with these students to achieve these dreams and continue to face the financial barriers of education?
That's a kind of a good dream though, but now you are going into the federal territory. This is not falls within the city council. The city council don't have any power to do this type of legislation. It's a federal. What we have to do, community-based organizations push Obama to come forward and pass that legislation, which is already last 2 years ago in that floor on Congress. Last year, I did so many seminars on immigration and Reform Act, which were in the Congress. I did at the Blessed Sacrament. I did in my office several times, Immigration Reform Act, and what are the laws which are going to come in the future. What we have to do, we have to make Obama's hand stronger so that he can pass the regulation so we can get what you said in a dream world. Otherwise, it's going to be very fruitless to say that I will do all those things. Thank you.
When I first moved to the city, it was about 10 years ago, and I think that it was I was extremely lucky. I came here not knowing one person. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any job prospects, and I didn't have a place of my own to live. And here I am, 10 years later, running for city council in the area that I love to live in. That is the American story. That is the story that each child deserves to live. That's the story that each one of you want to see realized. And that's the story that I think that we have to continue telling our children. We need to work with them so that they can understand their dreams and get every opportunity to make a success in life. Now, I was extremely lucky, but I want to make sure that every one of the children that are in this district have the same opportunity for success that I did. The exact same thing. And that's exactly what I'm going to do when I'm the city council member. Thank you.
This is probably the only country in the world and the only city in the world where anyone from anywhere can get an education. No one is deprived of education in New York City, from the elementary to the intermediate to the high schools and to the CUNY system. Undocumented, you can still get that education. What is important, all during this undocumented process, is that we need to have more and more programs that are available to help them through this undocumented process to become documented. We have such a word as that. That is very key, because as long as they're going through the education and want to have jobs here, they need to be reinforced with that. They need to be able to get away from that. Even with being undocumented, you get in elementary, you get in junior high, and you get in high school, at least in New York City, because that is just the law. Every child has a right to an education. As they move further up within the CUNY system and they get into higher education, they still can get that degree, but they still must get through. Now, whether they cannot get those scholarships. That is very true. However, with the Vallone Scholarship in the City Council, you can get that and maintain a B average. So it's important from the elementary, how important it is for education and to work through to get the help to become and be able to do that.
Sometimes I'm a little bit amazed by some of my opponents' lack of knowledge on immigration issues and some of the problems that concern our immigrant community. even with the legislation in terms of voter rights, I think that there's a misunderstanding. Of course, what we're talking about are people who are green card people and people who are tax-paying citizens and who are abided by law. We're not advocating for people to, break the law and come into the country. Those people deserve voting rights. And on this issue in particular, I've been to many of the voting rights rallies that we've had. I've been to immigration marches. What has to happen is that we have to have immigration reform. And the other underlying process is here, that's here as well, is that college is unaffordable to our immigrant community. That's really the problem. And then the resources to make college happen are not there for them. And I know, as a New York City public school teacher, I have never had a bigger frustration than to know the kids that I teach, okay, who are in my class, who are going to go on to junior high and who we give them the basics and the foundations for, will not have the opportunity to attend college later on in life. No bigger frustration than that. Thank you.